welcome to Pursebuzz.com. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Mad Hatter nails, particularly the one in the middle there with the hat. And the rest of them I just kind of do on the video, and you can see I use my MIGI nails, and I use primarily orange, black, gold, green, white. But the main colors are white, orange, and green. Got some fun, crazy nails there, just kind of to match the personality. And I'll show you how to do that right now. First step in creating this fun Mad Hatter look is to first put a base on your nails. So I've done that already because I don't want the nail polish to stain my nails. And then I'm going to alternate the colors between white, orange, and green. So here are the colors that I've chosen. It doesn't matter what brand. I'm using the Zoya Midori and then the MIGI nails in orange and white, since I'm going to be using that later on to decorate as well. I'm just going to start off with green in the middle because I know that's where I want my main decoration to be. And then I'm going to add the white and orange on both sides. Alright, now for the fun part where we get to do the Mad Hatter hat. Pick your favorite fingernail. So I'm going to pick this green one right here in the middle. I'm going to paint my hat, my Mad Hatter hat, which is the focal point of this look. So what you're going to do is you've already picked your favorite fingernail to paint the green background, which is inspired by the new Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. And then the rest of the look is just funky fun and however I'm feeling at that moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush like this. Can you see that there? And this is from 8 Day Beauty. It's just a nail brush, nothing too fancy, but it helps me use any other nail polish that I have, and I turn it into a decorative nail polish. It's time to have some fun and just draw. Here I've used some nail polish and some paper, and I'm just drawing out all different types of hats and potential hats that I can use. Just kind of practice so you can see what you like in different styles. I like to use something that looks more like a teacup, where I have the opportunity or the option to put like a little handle on it. So just kind of decorate a piece of paper and kind of practice, because you're only going to have one opportunity to make this hat. So we're going to make it really cute. And I like to use something that looks like this, which is ironically the first one that I made. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some tape. You can use like the Post-it note method, which is something I used to do, but I like using the tape better. Make sure your nails are completely dry, and you're going to get 2 small pieces of tape that on your nail. So we're going to do the bottom, and this is for the brim of the hat. The hat's going to be facing me, and so I'm going to put that one on the bottom, and I want to put it at a slight angle, but not too much of an angle. So it's going to give me some room. You can see that right there. So that's going to be the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing for the top of the hat, and this is going to make sure that that top of the hat is perfect. And so I'm just going to do it at an angle. It doesn't have to be at like a perfect angle, but you want something, oops, avoid something like that. But you want something where it's kind of diagonal and parallel to this one right here. This one's a little bit off, but if you're like the Mad Hatter and you want to go a little crazy, you know, make it uneven, it doesn't really matter. But I don't really like how it looks if it's perfectly at the corner of my nail, so I'm just going to remove it and push it down again. So it's slightly angled, but not perfectly angled. So it looks like that. Alright, now to start painting. So we're going to press this down. If your nails are dry, you shouldn't pick up any nail polish with this. What you want to make sure is you roll the nail polish and you don't shake it, and that will help your nail polish become smooth and consistent. So I'm going to be using this green by OCC Makeup called Blackboard, which is a really cool green. It reminds me of when I was a little kid and I had chalkboards in my classrooms and things like that. So it's just a really creamy, dark green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out, clean this brush, and I'm going to set it aside because I'm not going to use this brush. What you can do too is like a kiss method where you dip this brush to this brush, kind of like what you do in an angle brush and liquid liner. But I'm just going to dip this in because it is such a long and slim brush. Okay, once I've submerged my brush into the nail polish, so it looks like that. I got all this lint on it, but that's okay. And you're going to paint a straight line on the bottom. And you want to start off thin because you have to kind of work your way up to see how you feel about it, because sometimes these hats don't come out perfect. So I like to start with a thin line and then just work my way to a little bit of a thicker line. And I'm just gonna follow that tape, and I'm gonna go from the cuticle to the other side of the cuticle. Okay, once you have that line, I'm going to paint that same line on the top, and that's gonna be the top of the hat. Tape around my fingernail like a band-aid. And we're gonna go straight across. And if you're clumsy, you can always do the pivot motion with your finger and then keep the brush still and just go across. And the reason why I'm only doing one is because I cannot make these even like a stamp. I can do one that's perfect, maybe 4, but I can't do all 10 fingers. And since it's Mad Hatter, it's crazy, it's wild, I'm gonna put plaids, polka dots, and all that other crazy stuff on the other nails and make that middle one my focal point. All right, so now that we have this, we're going to paint the hat. And that's like a triangle. So I'm gonna go small on the bottom, close to my cuticle, and towards the tip, it's gonna go outward. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so I'm gonna re-dip, and I'm gonna take the brush, and from the bottom close to my cuticle, and I'm not gonna go at the end of the line, but towards the middle, just the center piece right, this middle third, and I'm gonna draw a line out, and it's gonna meet the end of this up here. Just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing with this. And you can even lay the brush down, and you got your funky hat. And then you're just gonna fill in any gaps. I'm gonna color it in with this green, because I want it to be like a real hat. But you can just make the silhouette or an outline if you'd like. So how I'm gonna paint that middle part is I'm just gonna take the brush, the middle, and you can go right on top of that line right onto your tape, and it doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna kind of fan it out like a triangle, starting at the bottom and then outward. And then I want this to be really opaque, so I'm gonna do 2 coats. And you're gonna let that dry. So while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna work on these nails, and I'm gonna have some fun with it. So I'm taking my MIGI, and I'm going to roll it. And before I put it on my nail, I'm gonna squeeze it and put a little bit on a piece of paper to make sure that the consistency is there. My diagonal's on this side, so I'm gonna take the white, and I'm gonna go over the orange, and I'm just gonna create a line right in the middle, and a line on the bottom, and one on the top. And with these MIGIs, it's not really good to go close to your cuticle area because it kind of gets blurred out and like kind of bleeds. And then with the other side, do the same. Like that. And then the other one, I'm gonna do some polka dots. So I'm gonna just do one here and here, here, here. You don't want to be consistent, you want it to just be crazy and different. So I'm going to take my little pinky here and I'm going to decorate it with some squiggles. See if I can do it. Just like that. Camera just does not like nail tutorials. And then I'm going to do a dot at the end, another dot up here. Just like that. Should take about 5 minutes to dry, so if you're watching TV or something, just kind of sit like this, don't move anywhere. And this last nail right here, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a French manicure. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to open it up to the brush area. Make sure this is standing up, because if it doesn't stand up, it's going to spill all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a little French tip. All right, so let's see how this one is doing over here. So I'm going to peel this one off. I'm going to peel it towards the line. You have your perfect straight line. Gonna peel this. You got your perfect straight line and your perfect little hat. Got a little bit on my cuticle right there. You could just take that right off with some nail polish remover and a Q-tip, so not to worry. And there's your little hat. So let's give it a little bit of a decoration. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a gold accent right there at the brim. Okay, I love this gold one right here. It's like puff paint. See if I can do this. And I'm gonna squeeze it just a little bit, and we're gonna go straight across. Just like that. It's a little accent. And now we can go nuts and just decorate. A couple of little orange bulbs around, just like that. And I'm gonna add a couple of little white ones as well. It's gonna make it extra festive. We're gonna let all this dry and we're gonna have some fun, crazy Mad Hatter nails. And that finishes up the Mad Hatter nails. I recommend the MIGIs, but if you don't have it, just get the kind of brush where it's long at the end. You can get them at nail stores or like Michael's, and then dip it into your nail polish and you can draw just like this. All kinds of fun stuff. Thanks again for joining me here at Pursebuzz.com. Don't forget to check out the makeup and how to make your own hat. I'm gonna show you a cute hat to make out of felt. This one actually came with the outfit, and it's cute, but I think the one I'm going to show you guys how to make is way cuter.